Hello, welcome to my Facebook page. I am doing something different today that I've really never done before, and I hope this is going to be a blessing to you. I am going to do a series of recordings about what the Bible says about church life. And here's how all this started. At one time, about 20 or 25 years ago, I began to look into the Bible about what church life should be like and I looked up verses that had to do with one another. Those were the exact words that I looked up in a concordance, and I found a huge amount of verses and passages that had to do with church life, relationships in the church, leadership in the church, and so I made lists and I categorized, and then I kind of made it into a really rough book. And then I taught a few times on the subject. And a few months ago, my daughter, Krista Madrid, approached me and said she would like to make a book out of it. So she wanted both of us to work on it. And so we collaborated and made a book called One Body. And it has to do with relationships in the church. In it, we basically talk about relationships within the local church based on what the Bible says. I've observed that many people have different ideas about what should happen, and I've always gone to the Bible to see what should we be thinking and what should we be doing in different aspects of our life. And so I'm doing this not to sell a book and not just to make a book report, but to help you to understand what the Bible says about church relationships and how we should deal with each other and how we should deal with leadership and just how things should be going in a church. So I'm going to do a short message about every week, and I'll explain things that I've written in the book. And first of all, today I want to introduce it by saying a few things to begin with. And here's a crucial point. How we treat other believers is how we're treating Jesus' body and how we're treating Jesus himself. And if you've read the Bible, and especially in the book of Acts, you'll remember the story of Saul on the road to Damascus. And he was going there to persecute the believers, the Christians in Damascus. And as he went, the Lord shined a light bright on him, and he fell off his horse. And the Lord said to him these words. He said, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" And, in fact, Saul wasn't actually physically touching Jesus or doing anything to Jesus himself. He was persecuting the believers. But Jesus considered that to be a persecution of himself. So, and there are other references in the Bible that are very similar to that. And the conclusion we can draw from that is that if we're relating to other believers, we're doing something that's relating to Jesus himself. We're relating to other believers just like we're relating to Jesus. And so I'm addressing things in this book that have to do with our relationships. Maybe you've had a hard time dealing with other believers and differences or even wrong attitudes that other believers have. Or maybe you've been hurt or offended by someone else in the church or some other Christian that's not in the church. Or maybe you don't understand why you should even go to church in the first place. And these are issues that people deal with. And the Bible has answers, has all the answers that we need. And so I'm going to cover some topics that are in the book. And here's some of these here. First of all, the importance of the local church is going to be covered. Second is how to biblically relate to other believers. And third is how to value and understand the role of church leaders. And fourth, how to problem solve gracefully with imperfect people. And number 5, how peaceful relationships cause your church to thrive. I think these will be very helpful to you. I believe that as you understand and practice biblical principles in relating to other believers, your spiritual relationship with God will thrive as well. So I hope you continue to listen to me, and you'll just have to watch for me on Facebook. and I think you'll be blessed by it. So have a good day, have a good week, and God bless you.